Fun times in the drain here. Nearly got stuck. Yeah. Morning. Welcome back, lads and ladettes. What a beautiful morning she is. Compared to the last few days of windy weather and just horrible weather, but that's winter for you, I suppose. Gonna be a busy one all over the show today. Basically, gonna throw a couple of bales on the bale feeder here and go to the river paddock and feed out a couple of batches of ewes. Shift the triplets into a new paddock before it gets wet. Shift them into a wet paddock when it's dry, so when it gets wet I can shift them out and it's grazed. That's what I was meant to say. Which is next door, it's not too hard. We had them in, had all the old girls in yesterday and vaccinated them with an 8 and 1, and gave them a lice, put them through the shower dip and liced them because yeah, it's just that time of year. And we always find that round lambing, after lambing sort of slash docking time, they're generally starting to scratch if we don't do it, so just trying to keep on top of it and get rid of it. Can be a problem, and the ewes can go back too with it. If they've got a bad lice problem, they're just scratching all the time and not eating and stuff. So yeah, trying to keep on top of it. Have done for the last couple of years or 3 years, and yeah, seems to be working. And then yeah, pretty much shift those dog tucker to do, and unhook the bale feeder and go around the corner and try and scrape the track that has a couple of wee slips over it, so I can get the tractor over there to spray and get the easier to get the bike and thriller over and stuff too. So yeah, that's today's plan. And then it'll probably take most of the day as well, so it will. And if I have time, I want to hook the tiller on to the tractor and get her to the river paddock to redo a crossing down there, because yeah, one of them that's pretty much blown out. We can't get any vehicles over apart from a bike, because it's pretty much washed away one side. You'll see when we get down there. That's tomorrow's job when it's dry too. Try and get that done before it's wet and before it gets too muddy, and at least then it's a bit easier to drive the tractor and feed out and all sorts. Yeah, I've got a new culvert there to go in. There's 2 culverts, 300 culverts in it, but yeah, I'm going to pull that out and put a 500 in. Maybe make it a wee bit deeper, because then it's holding less water on the other side. So, but yeah, pretty much get that, and then if I have time, get the digger from down below up to the yard at least or something, so it's easier for the morning. It'll take me probably half an hour to track down there, so it will, or a bit over it, depending if I get sidetracked and do a few wee jobs on the way down. Could be possible. But anyway, getting ahead of myself. Yeah, pretty much get a couple of bales on, and yeah, we'll wheel ourselves down and start feeding out to the ewes. Alright, so that's one job done, or 2 jobs done, 2 mobs, 2 jobs both. They're happy as could be. Yeah, we're kind of hauling them in the river paddock because I've got less singles, generally where the singles lamb. Hopefully you can see me with the sun. And twins and singles are in here, 4 and 3 year olds, because I divided it up last year, which is quite handy because I can keep them separate, so it's just one age group to draft out. It's easy. There's still plenty of roughers there for them, like they're not short of feed, but I've got plenty of baleage left over there, and yeah, kind of need to feed it out somehow. And you know, the weather's good now, the ewes are hoovering it up, and it is good quality stuff. Yeah, sometimes it is a pain in the ass to feed out with this here because it just doesn't want to roll. Generally, if it rolls nicely, she'll actually unravel in the layers. But yeah, when she does that, like the first bale, yeah, it's quite glad that I do my own baleage and I actually know that the knives are in to chop it, because it falls apart very easily. Sheep, you kind of want a thin and small line for sheep, because they lay it better, while if it's big clumps left, even if it's chopped, they'll just pick at the top and then pretty much lie in it or just leave it. It's not like cattle that'll just keep nosing away at it to get to the good stuff and stuff. Sheep don't do that. They just pick at the top and that's it, but unless they're really hungry. But yeah, you try and do it in a small line for sheep. And yeah, sheep don't like long stocky or long grass either, hence why I have the knives in, because yeah, it's chopping it about there, which is perfect, seems to be perfect, and that's only half the knives in too. If I put the full knives in, I'd say now the bales would soon fall apart trying to get it onto there. But yeah, trial and error. That's the second year doing it, and half the knives in, and they seem to be eating it no bother, so I'll keep at it unless it's real rank grass that I'm doing, which I try not to. Yeah, when I'm doing the silage, I'm generally trying to cut it short. I want quality, not quantity, really, because yeah, it's generally for the sheep, not the cattle. But half the bales over there is cattle feed. It's good quality stuff. It's just a wee bit long, stocky, but there's plenty of clover in it, so the cattle in the hills will be loving it once they get it, if I need to, over lambing. So yeah, anyway, move on to the next job, shift these triplets, and yeah, it'd nearly be coffee time after that, I think. So, on to the next job. Slowly getting the job list ticked off, but every time I get one tick off, it's there's only like 5 added onto it. But that's the way it goes, I suppose, on a farm. I'm sure every place is the same. But yeah, we're in the back of the farm here. This is the track. We call it the hairpin gully. To the back flat pretty much. On the back sideline. That's the boundary pretty much, that sideline over there. If you can see the knob and a few sheepies, escapees up top there. Yeah, the boundary's next door to that. But yeah, you can see this gully's been hit hard. Pretty much this summer. It's slipped like mad. This is one of the slips here, pretty much came from there. The tree goes up top as well. I'm going to try and save that for firewood because it should be pretty good stuff, but I'll take the branches off and I don't know where I'm going to chuck it, but I'll try and drag it, might drag it down there because there's a canopy down across the creek as well that I need to cut up, and that's the other slip there. It's not as bad. I cut the tree up so I can get the bike across and lobbed off a few knobs of dirt to make it safer with the tiller, but yeah. Pretty much this one, that one and that one there to get the tractor over so I can spray our flats. Over summer there was a slip came down there and, no sorry, down here. So that's the second one in the same place. And here, as you can see, that was back in February. Yeah, I had to scrape that with a tractor too to do it. Just to get the bikes across and the tractor across. But yeah, there's been a few more slips too. This is all pretty much within a year. These slips, you could say even nearly 6 months, most of it. There's a few big ones here, as you can see. Where the tree is, dead tree is there, that was a slip at the same time as this other one. And it's slipped again because it dipped back into the track. This has slipped the last time I was away. This has too. And now over the join there, and then over here too. Over the other side of the fence. In the gully, that's a big slip there, just tumbled. There's a few canopies sitting up there too, so yeah, the joys of it. But yeah, handy to do with the digger, but as I say, the digger's going somewhere else tomorrow, and I do need to get the digger across over to the back of the farm here to clean up this culvert and get a bit of metal out of the river, and yeah, clean up a few things. Have a fence to do on another paddock by the river. I'm getting sick and tired of putting the electric fence up and to keep the stock out over summer. But yeah, need the digger for that. Take a few trees out and straighten it and all the rest. But that's summertime job, so this will do for now. At least to get it scraped a bit anyway and move this stump and tree. That'll be the most of it. At least we can get the tractor over and yeah, be a bit safer. Yeah, we'll carry on then. Alright now, well, that's my track cleared. As good as I'm going to get it anyway. Without having to get the digger. Kind of need the digger for this one. Digger makes a lot tighter job. There's only so much you can do with a bucket before you start making a mess and all the rest. But yeah, fun times in the drain here. Nearly got stuck. Yeah, nearly got stuck. No weight in the back. Just dug in the front, dug there. Oh boy, she's wet. This is a bit of a spillway before it goes through the culvert. Culvert's there. I was just trying to scoop out some of the sandstone that washes down. There's a lot of sandstone further up here in the creek. As you can see, it just washes the silt down when there's heavy rain and stuff. Yeah, it's a digger job. I did it the last time the digger was here, and I scooped out a bit whenever I did clear these other tracks too, with the tractor. But yeah, it was a bit drier then, I suppose. So yeah, might have been a bit ambitious. Spit the words out. Might have been a bit ambitious with my bucket load, but the first bucket load came out, she was nice and dry, so I thought, oh, I'll give it a bit more, but nope, not this time. But anyway, I'll soon get the shovel down and clear around that culvert next time I'm over here, just to dig away the sticks and stuff. But yeah, generally it's probably half the battle why it's spilling over too. This here's gathered up, but like, yeah, whenever I did it with the digger, I scooped out like pretty much the depth of the bucket below the pipe, and this is how much is filled up in 2 years. 2 years I think I had the digger here, and it was built up like within a year with the plan of getting the digger over last summer, but that didn't happen. But that's the way the cookie crumbles, and yeah, nothing's perfect around a farm, and sometimes you plan stuff for summertime and it gets too wet and you can't, because June last year I took the digger down for the first time to the river to clean the ford crossing out, and I'm thinking, yeah, I shall be there for a month, you know, a few floods, it'll bring all the silt down, I won't need to do it again. 10 months later, and probably about 20 floods within the 10 months, and about 12 times I think I cleaned my ford crossing out so we can get the tractors across between June to February, no, March, something like that, yeah. Sure, was a while now. A lot of neighbours over that side of the river now was wondering, was I leaving the digger there to try and catch the flood? No, it was not, because the last time she flooded whenever I was away, she rose to 9.5 metres and she didn't get to where the digger sat. So yeah, but I was worried a couple of times. I went down and moved the digger a bit more because I was afraid of it being flooded. That was whenever I had like 150 mil in like 2 days. Yeah, but anyway, basically gonna cut the rest of this tree up. I'll leave the branches there because this canuka here, as you can see, is falling across the creek. The drain, shock, whatever you want to call it. It's not really a shock, I suppose, it's a drain. I was planning to get up here last summer with a tractor and cut it up with a trailer, but yeah, nah, didn't. This summer I'm definitely planning to, because it's a good canuka and it's pretty good firewood. Yeah, it's pretty good firewood, good burning, burns hot and slow. The farm's full of canuka, but yeah, I don't like to waste much if I can get to it, and yeah, it'll only be a couple of more years of it sitting there without getting the proper sun, and she'll be rotten. So yeah, she just fell down because it was on the bank pretty much one windy night. There's a few of them up there, but I can't really get up there. So anyway, cut this tree up and call it quits, and I think yeah, we'll see what the rest of the day plans. Right, that's us now. Job's a good one. We can get through with the tractor anyway. Whatever time I get the digger here, I'll soon finish up whatever I need to, or else if there a bit more slips down, I can get the digger to it, or the tractor to it. At least there's a clear path over to the far side. Anyway, now if I can drive that tractor there, then the big tractors will soon get there too. So, but yeah, lovely day over here. Yeah, those are my triplets over there, and the tutus. Yeah, that's the far flat. That's the far flat that we call. This is generally the two-tooth country. Different parts of the farm generally are allocated to different age groups, especially over lambing and stuff anyway, to docking time and to shearing time anyway, at least. Just works well. Over the years the boss man has tried different things, and that's what he's found worked, so keeps him in the different age groups and carries on from there. But yeah, thanks for watching, and yeah, stay safe and hopefully catch you in the next one. You right there, love? Take your time. Settle yourself. Settle, settle. Yeah, you just got yourself into it again. No. Good job. You getting there? Good job, good job. Yeah, take your time. Yeah, take your time, love. Catch your breath. Yeah. I'm not here to hurt you, just take your time. Good girl. You're like a drunk woman coming home from a Saturday night. You're lopsided and walking funny. Good girl. That's it. Oh well, I was about to head home. Thought that was us finished, but looked across after saying my goodbye to yous, and saw that one with her legs hanging in the air. Well, really to the side, but yeah, you kind of know the luck that they're cast. It's a bit early for them to be getting cast, but they are fat triplets. So 3 lambs soon changes things inside your belly. So it does, I'm sure. I don't really know about them things, but one can only guess. Anyway, that's a good deed done for the day, and we will definitely catch you in the next one.